Okay, we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give everyone a minute to chime in and to gather yourselves and to share and let people know that the doc is live and we have a wonderful author with us today. I am so excited to be in conversation with this beautiful lady who wrote this wonderful book called My Untold Stories, Miss Brittney Wardlaw. And we got a lot to talk about, honey. She got 37 chapters in this book. Don't let that scare you, okay? Because don't be scared because they're not long chapters, but she got a lot to talk about. So we're going to delve into this book. So gather everyone. I'm going to check my platforms, making sure we live because I have done a whole live and my volume was down. So what I do now is stop what I'm doing and make sure I am on point. So I'm going to go to our Facebook folks, making sure we're good out there.
And I feel like...
Let's see. Okay. Yep, we're good out there. I can hear us. Wonderful, wonderful. And let me go to our YouTube channels. And you can let your folks know if it's easier for them to follow us on Facebook or YouTube. Certainly do that. Let me make sure our YouTube is up and going.
DocLive.tv, right?
DocLive.tv. If you go to that will actually direct you to our YouTube, I believe. Let me see. Okay, well, good. Okay, all of our platforms are up and going. Again, thank you all for taking time out to share and be a part of our conversation here. The Doc Bookshop, for those who don't know, I'm Donna Craddock. I'm one of the co-owners of the Doc Bookshop, and I'm co-owning with my dear sister over there, Danya. Say hi, Danya.
Hello, everybody out there.
We're co-owners of the Doc Bookshop. We've been around for 16 years. If you're in the DFW area, please, please, please come by and check us out. If you're near us, please come right now because we have an author in the house. She'll be here till 5 o'clock, y'all. So make your way to the bookstore. Meet and greet Brittney Wardlaw. Am I saying it right? Wardlaw?
Yes.
Wardlaw?
Wardlaw. It's just two words. Wardlaw.
Wardlaw.
Mm-hmm.
Wardlaw. Okay.
Yeah.
So come and meet her. She has such a beautiful spirit. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get into this book. I want to know your story.
I'm excited.
So, so come. If you're in the area, we have a lot going on. So we just try to make it. So come and support. All right. Okay. So, Brittney, let's just get right into it. You know,
I'm ready.
So, Brittney Wardlaw, tell us about you. Who is Brittney?
Who am I? So many things. So many.
You wear a lot of hats, huh?
Oh my goodness, lots of hats.
Well, I know you're a mother of 5. That's the primary hat.
Listen.
Well, no, you're a wife.
I was gonna say.
So.
Yeah.
All
the things. All the things. So I am okay. So I am an attorney. By trade.
Okay.
Yes, I am an attorney by trade. That is one of the crosses that I bear. I'm a believer. I'm a follower of Jesus.
See those wonderful
yes, my
sideline items. Yes.
We'll talk about the apparel for sure.
Yes.
I am a wife. Yes, I am a wife.
Okay.
I've been a wife for 13 years to my best
Congratulations.
friend. Yes, that's my buddy.
That's beautiful.
He is not here because you mentioned we have 5 kids, and about 3 of them are not feeling great.
Oh.
So he took an L for the team.
And
he stayed back with the team, and I brought my mini-me.
Well, wonderful. That's partnership.
Yes.
Working together.
Yes, as a team. And so I am an author. I'm a new author. Also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated.
Deltas are in the house. Okay.
Don't forget about our assistant.
Oh yes. So yeah, I'm a new author, and I'm really excited to be able to talk about all that I was talking about.
Okay, now let me ask you this:
Yes.
when did you release your book?
October.
Okay.
Yes, October
Okay.
4th of this year.
So it's quite new.
It is very new.
Yes,
It is very new.
It's quite new
It is
here.
very
So it's a beautiful cover though, and
Thank you.
it's a beautiful book.
Yes.
Oh, look at this! This is the final.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the crew back there. That's the crew. The crew's
You
on the
can't
back.
see it. The crew's on the back.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and
Beautiful family.
it's all girls.
You have a beautiful family.
All girls. 5 girls.
Oh, he's a true girl dad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This girl dad does all the hair.
Really?
All the hair.
Oh
He
my
does all the hair,
goodness.
and nobody's locked. So he does all the hair.
Wow.
Yes,
5
that
girls,
is the girl.
5 beautiful girls.
Mhm.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it.
Yes.
Beautiful family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so what else
yeah.
about Brittney?
So Brittney, I have truly been an author in my heart since I was a little kid. I used to like writing stories when I was a
Really?
child. Yes, and what I've realized recently is that there was a creative part of me that kind of, I don't want to say she died, but she had went into a deep hibernation, and I forgot she was there.
Interesting.
There is definitely a season of my life, particularly when I started getting real into academics, that all the creative things that I used to love and enjoy doing that really brought me a lot of life, they just kind of just went away.
Well,
If that makes
something about
sense.
that academia can probably do that.
Yes, yes. It was just like I got so heady.
Yes.
That
Some-
creative. It was like I didn't have time for her anymore, and then
Right.
she just kind of shriveled up a little bit.
Mhm.
And then I went through something that brought me back to writing.
Okay.
And I really have been writing. I really didn't stop writing, because even in my like prayer journaling or just writing, getting my thoughts out, I still did that here and there along the way, right?
Okay. Okay.
And so it kind of gets into the book, how I even got to writing the book. We go through the academic stages, undergrad, we go through law school, we start working in higher education, and higher education is where there was a big transformation for me, psychologically, emotionally, mentally,
Okay.
a breaking, if you will. And then the book
So-
was birthed.
Okay. So how long did it take you to write this book?
Technically 4 years.
Oh wow.
I didn't realize, I don't know that I knew I was writing a book. I think I kind of said, yeah, I should write all this stuff down. So the context is, we moved to Texas from the East Coast. Me and this best friend of mine, Gary.
Okay. Gary.
We
Mhm.
moved in 2017 because I was recruited to work for Baylor in Waco, Texas.
Okay.
And we had one child. We had 1.5 kids. We had one. I was pregnant with the other. We came out here. We felt like, oh man, we felt called to this job. We felt called to come out here, so we came.
And you're coming from, you said East Coast.
We were
where
in
about?
Virginia.
Okay.
So he's born and raised in Virginia. I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay.
But-
Are you a Jersey girl?
I am. I am. I was in Jersey all my life. All my life.
Okay. I kind of sensed that.
Could you?
I kind of sensed that. Yeah, I knew something was there.
Okay,
Yeah. I
okay.
sensed that, yeah.
People say I seem like I'm from the South. To be from New Jersey. I feel like I was always supposed to be in the South. This feels like home, though. Like, this feels like home.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So we came out here with the intention of, okay, this is going to be our new life. This is my new job. My husband started a practice. He's a therapist. He started a practice when we came out here. And, like we talked about briefly, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart.
It is not
It's
for the
not.
faint of heart.
It is not. It is not.
You have to love what you do.
Yes. And feel deeply called.
Deeply called.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. That is true.
So I worked for Baylor. He was part-time in his practice, which worked because the pressure wasn't there. He could still, be a therapist and run the practice.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had this job with benefits and all the things. So the financial stress wasn't there, right?
Right.
He could just do the practice.
That's good.
But the things I experienced on this job, they almost broke me.
Okay, we
Almost
need to
broke
talk
me.
about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I came very hopeful. I was recruited. To work in administration to do Title IX work. And some people are super familiar with it. Some people it's totally new. Title IX was basically this law that said, hey, schools, colleges, you need to take care of this sexual violence problem on your campus. And this is the law that's going to make you do that. So as an attorney, there was a lot of people in our field in higher education doing that work. I was over a department at a school in Virginia, and so I was recruited to come work for Baylor because they were in hot water when it came to that particular issue.
Interesting.
Yes. So they were building this, they're building this dream team of people. Hey, help fix this problem. So that's why I was recruited to come. I was excited about it because, sexual violence and sexual harassment, domestic violence, these are not things that people are really wanting to have a lot of attention on, because that's just not, it's kind of a scarlet letter.
Yeah, it's a taboo. Like, okay,
right.
We know it's here.
Right.
We have this problem, but okay, fix it quietly.
Right.
Quietly. We don't want.
Exactly. And Baylor was not being real quiet about it. They were real like, hey, this is a problem and we're going to fix it and we're going to be outright about it. At least that's what I thought. So I was excited to be a part of that because I'm like, man, this is awesome. This is what people need to be doing. And what I didn't know at the time was for the optics, that was the best way for them to approach the problem, to look very transparent. If we look transparent, then people will trust us again because our trust has been broken. And so I came into this thinking, okay, this institution wants
Really
to
cares.
they really care.
They care.
They want to operate with integrity. I want to be a part of that.
Right.
Like, wow. Well, long story short, I get here and I talk about this in the book. I am put under a very insecure white woman as a supervisor. And she is extremely threatened by my presence and works really hard to break me down. Really, really hard. Yeah.
Sorry you had to endure that.
That was the beginning. The beginning of a very, very hard road at that institution. And so a lot of times, when we're in situations like that, we don't understand what's happening real time, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I was removed that I could see with so much more clarity what I was experiencing. And there have been countless individuals that when they hear pieces of my story, they're like, oh my goodness, that happened to me. Oh my goodness, that's what's happening to me. And people half the time you don't know that that's what you're in until someone gives you the language or you're removed from it.
Okay.
So that's the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beginning. So this was years of this. I end up getting moved out of that department because the institution really didn't know what to do. They're trying to keep things peaceful. They're not wanting to upset anybody more. Excuse me. And so they decide, hey, well, why don't we move you to DEI, equal employment opportunity work over here in this department? Since she's not getting along with you well, because she was my supervisor, she was the one that recruited me. We'll move you to another department. Is there something else that you could do? And it was like, well, I do care about diversity, equity, inclusion work, and y'all don't have a department doing that at all. So sure, I will move and do that. So I moved, and little did I know that they didn't have any intention of that work actually happening. You just need somebody to look. You just need something to look like it's being done.
This is what you just play with the paper.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
actually doing work.
Just be a cute face. Talk to people when we need you to.
Right.
You know, make
Yeah,
us
no
look
real
good.
change.
Don't actually do something. Because when you start actually doing something, you're gonna make some people mad.
Interesting.
So then when I actually started doing work, it just got worse. It just got worse. I would make a lot of great connections all over campus. Amazing partnerships, projects, like there was real headway that I was making all over campus. Positive relationships and partnerships with different departments. People would call me and be like, hey, I have this idea. Can you help me pull it off? Can you execute? And it was like, oh, this is great. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this puts me in a good position to show the institution that I'm valuable here. Positive contributor to what you all are doing. I'm doing what I thought you wanted done in this position. But I'm still over here in this file cabinet closet room, moving paper clips around, like you said. You know, not trying to make anybody look bad or feel bad, because that was the thing I kept running into, is every time they would put me under a white woman that was a supervisor, they would always think I was trying to outshine them or make them look bad, or, you know, whatever it was. It was insecurity was at the heart of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime you run into a leader that is insecure and has to supervise people that are competent or confident, it's a recipe for disaster. Yeah. And so that's what I just kept running into. And so a lot of what I talk about in the book is these different situations that are happening, things that I'm making and creating, and the positive feedback I'm getting, you know, from the people, but the supervisors that are getting really uncomfortable with the progress that I'm making, because it was never really their intention to actually make change happen. That was never, and with my simple optimistic self thinking,
You're just hired to be the cute face. You didn't realize that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That's sad though.
It was really sad. It was really sad. And one of the things that I've realized is that I've always been so enthusiastic about advocating for other people that when it came to advocating for myself, something would get very like sheepy. Like I don't want to upset anybody. Like I want the people around me to be happy with what I'm doing. I don't want you to be upset. I don't want you to be upset.
So you have to dim your light to make them feel comfortable.
Yes.
And I hate that though.
I was obsessed with making other people feel comfortable. Yeah. I really was. And so many of us have done it though.
Yes.
We do acrobatic flips so that other people feel okay in their space, because if we shine and do too much, they're gonna feel away.
Or just say the obvious. You can just say the obvious.
Right.
It's like, don't say that. Look,
Mm-mm.
it's the elephant in the room. But
Right.
don't say that,
But
right?
you can't. But you can't.
You can't say that.
Mm-mm. No. And so it wasn't until I got to a point where I was watching it happen to so many other people that I was like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You've been enduring, and you've been trying to stay hopeful and positive and expecting something different, expecting change for years. And the writing is on the wall. When are you going to say it?
They're not changing.
They're not going to change. They're not going to change. And you're going to die. You're going to die mentally, psychologically, emotionally. You're going to die. You're going to die waiting for change.
Oh my goodness. So what did you do?
I resigned very publicly. Like I left loudly. There was an attempt by them to do a mediation of like, hey, how much money you want to just leave quietly, don't say nothing, and you can't say anything about anything that happened. And there was some negotiating, but I realized quickly that there was not enough money y'all could give me for me to never say anything about what's happened. There's no number.
Hmm.
There's no number. So I'm gonna leave. And I'm not taking anything. And I'm not signing anything. I'm gonna write. And in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, yeah, we'll write a book or something. I think I thought I would finish. I don't know. But I just started writing. I resigned.
So you got so discouraged that you said, you know what, I'm done.
We're done.
You know, and I this is just for sanity's sake. I'm done,
We're
right? And so were they? I'm gonna say they. I'm talking your superiors. Were they like? Were they happy to see you go? Were they trying to keep you? I mean, what was their attitude like?
So a lot of the attitudes, because I had very close friends that were deans and provosts and general counsel. Like these were my friends, and I actually talk about that. There were a lot of people that were really sad. Like, don't do this. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. And it was like, you're placating me. I've watched you placate people all around me. You're not. Unless something like this is done. Me leaving, and people know I'm leaving, and I'm very public about why I'm leaving. Because behind closed doors, this is the stuff that you've been doing to Black professionals at this institution. I've watched it. I've been a part of it. You're not going to do anything because we quietly endure all of what you are dishing out because we feel like we have to. This is people's livelihood. This institution pays well. So most of the Black professionals that are here, we are the breadwinners. So to walk away, what are we walking away with? What are we walking away with?
Right.
You know you can keep doing this because what else are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to put food on the table? How are we going to pay our bills?
Right.
So I was like, no, you're not going to change. You're not going to change. So there were people that were like, no, they're trying to, because I left. Ironically, the timing was crazy. I was gearing up to walk away a week before George Floyd was murdered. A week before.
Oh wow!
So this
it was a lot going on in the atmosphere.
Yes, and
so during COVID and all that was happening.
Yes, and
so you left during COVID.
Yes. And you know what happened during COVID? This was one of the things that I knew. This is over. This is over. When COVID happened, mind you, I told you I'm an attorney. I have a JD. I'm a whole attorney. Okay. During COVID, they decided, okay, you know how, people are doing hiring freezes and, money's funny and we don't know if people still have jobs and all this, right?
Yeah.
So Baylor says, we're not letting anybody go. Like we're not there institutionally. We don't have to let anybody go, but we're not hiring anybody. Right? And they hire constantly. They're always hiring people. Because when they moved me to diversity, equity, inclusion, I was in HR. So I was in the belly of the beast. I worked in HR. So they're like, we're not hiring anybody. What we're going to do is we're creating this program that, if there's a department that needs new people or needs a position, we're going to take somebody from somewhere else in the institution that doesn't really have anything to do, and we're going to put them in whatever department we need them. Okay. This is the program that they created, right? So they create this program. COVID happens, and I am the first person that they move to another department that has a need. This other department that has a need is basically the level of a student worker. Checking emails to make sure that they were sending out like boxes of lunches for kids that were at home and didn't have lunches. And so they needed somebody to check the emails. If the parents emailed and said, we haven't gotten our lunch, where is it? They needed somebody to respond to it. So I was the first person in the entire institution of 3,000 employees to get moved into this program. An attorney. And they said, a JD, a whole one. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so
yeah,
you swallowed that.
Yeah,
and did that for how long? Were you not long though, right?
by this point, my mental health, my emotional health, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. I had by
So they
this
moved
point,
you from DEI to that?
yeah. And they said when they started this program, we're gonna put you in a comparable level position. My title, I was a manager, but the person that I was reporting to when they moved me was a student worker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
No,
the
they
writing was on the wall.
Oh, this
Yeah.
girl.
You're trying to make me so.
Oh,
You're not gonna fire me, but
they
you're
just
gonna
wanted to
make
value
me,
you
yes,
and
make you feel like each time that you just can't take it no more and you leave on your own, because we don't want to be the person that terminates Brittney Wardlaw, because I had a very positive reputation on campus, very positive performance evaluations. It's not like I was a problem employee. It wasn't any of that. So if they had to let me go, people would have been scratching their heads, very confused. But if she decided to leave, well, she probably just decided that's what's best.
why you sound like a Southern Belle doing it?
Listen,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had hired.
And that was the last straw.
It was
Right.
a culmination of last straws in that moment.
Okay.
Because simultaneously, and again, I talk about this in the book too, simultaneously, I had been denied 3 or 4 promotions by now, with no reason, no explanation, no feedback on how I could be in a position to be promoted. Nothing by this point. And so they hired for a position that I wanted since they moved me. So
because we were interviewing her. She was here talking about her story, and it backed out. It backed out a couple times. I think Crystal Mason was one, and then
Okay, Donna, we're back. I don't know what happened.
we're gonna say BU.
BU. I got you.
I think he's back.
Man.
Hopefully it's-
Okay, so we're back, or
Okay.
do we start? Are we starting over? How
No,
we doing?
it started back up. So
Okay. So
Yeah. I was looking at it. That's why I went. It wasn't gone for too long.
okay, and
Can I joke about being censored?
well, no, seriously, but we are though.
We are.
We are. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very serious.
It's very
and
serious.
and you'd be surprised how certain people or certain folks or certain institutions, you say the wrong thing, they got your mark, and they're
Right.
following you. They're watching you. They don't.
It's bananas. I'm like, is this real? This is real life.
This is real life.
This
Yes,
is real
and
life.
if people are being harassed, like in real life, it's so you have to be careful. And we that, and to be honest, we're used to it. We're harassed too. We're back because you know we get in certain conversations. You know, YouTube sometimes shuts us down. But anyway, thank you for
Okay.
allowing us to come back.
Yes, thank you for rejoining. If you got kicked out, please come
Like,
back.
we were having a great conversation.
I know, it was good.
And we're dealing with some issues here. Okay, let's get back. Let's get our mind back. So we were at the point.
Yours is serious. This topic is serious.
We're at the point where, you know, the system.
Mhm.
I know they say
I know. It's like, what words are we allowed to say?
Well, BU system is basically they're really trying to minimize you.
Yes.
So you're at that point. You're about to, you know, you say, okay, this is enough.
Yeah.
I'm done. You're not going to minimize me. You're not going to subject me anymore.
Right.
So I know
was
my
about to-
value. I know my worth. You know, so
Well, you know, at that time, I don't know that I was healed and whole enough to be able to say, I know my value, I know my worth, I'm leaving. I think the motivator for me back then is I've always been very driven to do what's right, what is just for people, period. And so what I was experiencing, yes, this is unjust treatment. But what I was mentioning about the promotion was it is a long story that I talk about in the book. These multiple opportunities that I had to be promoted and was denied unjustly, but they decided to hire a Black man. That every person of color at the institution was excited, like, okay, if it's not Brittney, which we don't quite understand why, at least it's another Black man. The problem was we had our suspicions about why they chose this particular person. And hindsight says he seemed controllable.
oh,
Yeah. And my hopefulness at the time, I didn't want to believe that. I wanted to believe, okay, they feel like he's more qualified. Okay, that's fine. Myself and my colleagues, we're going to do whatever we can to support him. We want to see him be successful. We want to see him do the work here. At least somebody's going to do it, and we're going to back him. But very quickly, he started to figure out, because he was from outside the institution, he started to figure out, wait a minute, I'm just a placeholder. So it didn't take him long to realize, I have no authority here. I have no power. They do not want to see me do anything. And I'm literally a placeholder. So it didn't take him long to figure that out. But we tried to keep him motivated. Like, it's all right. Come on. We can do this. We're going to keep going.
do what you can.
Do what you can. Right. Don't give up. Don't give up. And he's like, you know, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. And he would tell us that all the time. I'm not going to give up. You know, I'm still trying to finish my doctorate. I'm going to stay here until I'm done. I just moved my family here. Like, I'm not going to pick up and leave. We're like, okay, awesome. COVID happens. And next thing we know, he's getting put on a performance improvement plan. And he is given an ultimatum. And he gone. It happened. Boom, 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 boom. He gone. He's gone.
Wow. Did he do? Was he
So
disrupt? I mean, what did he?
So
I
when
mean,
they
that was
do this, yeah, it was quick. It was like 3-4 months. He was out because he wasn't as controllable as they thought. So he's got to go.
Right.
Gotta go.
Oh, you're not gonna play by. Okay.
Oh, you're not going.
We thought we made it clear.
Okay, you the wrong
We
dude.
told you
We got it.
to
Yeah.
step and fetch.
Yes.
Didn't do it.
You did. Yeah. So what they didn't know was along the way, he had been telling us, like, I'm gonna stick this out with y'all. Like, I'm gonna stick it out. I know this is not what I thought I signed up for, but I'm gonna stick it out with y'all. So I worked in HR. So I know how it's played. When they give you this performance improvement plan, they're covering their bases for when
Right.
you're gone, when they
Right.
let you go. So they
So they can
have
say
a
we
plan.
tried.
Right. And he
To
just
work
couldn't
with- he
he couldn't meet it, so we had to
Yeah.
let him go. So when they gave him the plan, me and my colleagues were like, oh shit. They about to get his name X. And he was like, well, they so
But they never gave you the plan though, huh?
they gave me the plan.
Huh?
Oh, they gave me the plan.
They
They
gave
gave me
you
the plan when I was in Title IX.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then they moved you though.
And they moved me.
Yeah.
Because, and that's a whole story. That's a whole story.
Okay, you're the attorney.
That's a
so
whole
they have to be a little
story.
bit careful because you may know some stuff.
Well, they gave me this plan. They gave me this plan too, back when I told you that the supervisor I had that was basically trying to break me.
Right.
They gave me this plan, and when I got to be you, the relationships and the connections that were made were fast and divine. Like, it didn't make any sense. The people that were getting connected to me and knowing who I was very quickly. So when this whole plan thing came down, somebody found out about it and intersected from the back.
Oh.
Yeah. And so when I went to the meeting where they wanted me to tell them what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do this plan, because when they gave me this plan, they also gave me a severance agreement. They said you can either try to do this plan, which the plan was impossible. They were handing me a noose to hang me, literally. The plan was absolutely impossible. Mind you,
They
I
tried to do
was-
that to old boy too then.
Absolutely. And when they gave me mine, I was 8 weeks postpartum, and this plan was impossible. It was impossible. So they gave me the plan and they gave me a severance. They said you can either just take the severance and go, or you can try to do this plan. But if you can't get this plan, we're still gonna let you go. And so because of the connections and relationships I had made, somebody intersected it from the back. And next thing I know, I'm having this meeting and they're like, oh, just ignore that. We're not going to even pay attention to that. Is there another job you want to do? And I'm like, yeah, actually, yeah. I'll do diversity, equity, inclusion. Make a job for me there. You got it. It's yours. I kid you not. You can't write this stuff. I kid you not.
The politics that just goes on is
It's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy. But we don't talk about it. Nobody talks about it because we're scared. We're scared. We need to keep a job. We need to
Right,
provide
gotta
for our
eat.
family.
And so you
And
right.
they say, don't talk about this to anybody. And this is the stuff that's happening behind closed doors that we all have to keep to ourselves if we want to keep a job.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I had to write it. No. We're done doing this stuff in secret. I'm going to write it down. And I'm telling people what you did to me behind closed doors.
Boy.
Yeah.
Workplace politics is
Politics
a
if you
mess.
want.
Politics.
I call it bullying.
Politics.
Politics. Yeah. When you have the power, it's bullying. It's bullying.
yeah.
Yeah. We can call it politics,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah,
But when
bullying.
you're in the position that you do not have the power, it's bullying.
Right.
I don't have any power here. I can't do anything except what you're telling me I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to figure out how to respond to this so that I can survive this. Okay. So I just gotta figure it out and keep my head down. So fast forward to old boy, I call him Carson in the book. He's gone. He's gone.
Okay, but did he call you? Did he at least say bye? Because sometimes folks you look at like where's so Carson did say bye to you, right?
Well, here's the thing. Carson couldn't talk to us about it because if he did, they wouldn't pay him his money.
Oh, so he just
So he had been talking to us to a point,
right.
but we had worked in HR, so we knew he didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to say anything. We knew what was happening. And next thing we know, he tells us, I've decided to resign. No, you didn't, but okay. But that's what he had to say. That's what he had to say. If he wants to take his check and
leave quietly and take care of his family, that's what he got to do.
That's what he got to do. And that, for me, that with them moving me to that position to the student worker, oh, we done. This is some bullshit. We are done. We are done. Oh, we're done. This is crazy.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We are done. We're done.
Stop with the games already.
The games. These are people's lives. These are people's lives. And the thing that makes this so deep is that this type of stuff, I mean, it happens to people on the margins, yes, but it was happening a lot with brown people. Why are all of the people in leadership getting promoted and moving up in positions? There are no people of color. Make it make sense. You mean to tell me that nobody of color is qualified to be promoted and in these level positions?
You know, Brittney, it's so interesting that we're talking about this right now with all that's going on today.
Yeah.
I mean, because you actually experienced, I mean, this whole DEI thing and them basically, I guess the institution that had to deal with it voted for a certain person who they knew would get rid of it. Mm-hmm. So now I'm sure they was take this out of our school. Mm-hmm. Glad it's gone. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And so they're probably just, as you say, placating, just, okay, this eventually will go away because such and such is going to get in office and we got plans to get rid of this. So you just push the door and paper clips around. Okay.
Right. We don't have to actually do this anymore.
But here's the thing. I mean, and I know we're about to go west, but let's just go. But I'm like, how is it that they get rid of DEI, but they know their behaviors don't change? They're not changing their behaviors. That's why we have it. Okay.
I know. And that's
why it's so necessary, because it's people say merit. Who's merit? Like who's
It's not merit. It's not merit.
Like you said,
it's only conveniently merit when you're trying to tell us we're not qualified. Oh, we just need the most qualified person. Meanwhile, we're busting our backsides.
And actually, you're the most qualified person, but it's like it's just it's baffling to me.
I know, and it's exhausting.
And this is happening at universities. I'm sure it happened there at BU, but I'm sure it's nationwide.
Oh, absolutely. And I was going to say that earlier. This is not, yes, BU is the villain in my story, but they are not. This is not an isolated.
No,
this is not isolated by any means. By any means. That's why I know there are so many people out there that cannot tell their story. This is more than Brittney just venting about what happened to her. This is an individual.
You're exposing some craziness that's happening. And
that is not unique to this institution. It's not.
It's happening across the nation. And it's like.
Nation, and has for decades. For decades.
So you see people get promoted. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like America.
Not at all. But for some reason, the people that are the smartest and the most qualified in America don't represent America at all.
Wow.
And we are intelligent enough to work here. Oh my goodness. Some of my closest friends, one of my dearest friends, he's one of my favorite people in the entire world. He worked for BU for 15 years. Probably one of the smartest humans I've ever met in my life. Not only is he brilliant, but he is charismatic. He's He has high social intelligence, emotional intelligence. I mean, top notch
Okay.
guy. 15 years at the institution. This man was in the same position. They did not promote this man for 12 years. 12 years. He did not get a promotion. He left maybe a year or two ago to another institution that he is like a provost. He was in like an assistant manager position for 12 years. They had put this man on hiring committees for the president, hiring committees for provosts. You don't put little low-level staff people unless they're incredibly competent, incredibly intelligent people. But he wasn't qualified enough to be promoted. It's stuff like that was happening.
And that just pisses you off. Like, really?
What? Right.
Come on, y'all.
Right. Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop. But it's hard to stop when all the stuff happens behind closed doors and nobody can really talk about it.
So what do you think? And I know we're gonna get more into it, but
It's all good.
why do you think you mentioned this bullying?
Yeah.
And that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to say it on a larger scale. I do feel that Black people are bullied.
Absolutely. And I talk about that. You know why? Because we are an incredibly strong people, intelligent, resilient. There is a strength in us as individuals and as a whole. And literally have a chapter where I talk about this. And it goes back to what I said about me being put under these people that were insecure. It's like, man, how do I keep such strength harnessed and relegated? Well, you have to bully. You have to control it, because otherwise they'll be over me. They'll control me. I won't have the power and the control unless I can keep them relegated to a position. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So we're just going to use in a sense, what you kind of went through is what the whole race is going through.
Absolutely.
On
Absolutely.
a larger scale.
Yes. This is a microcosm.
Like really honestly, and I know we probably get some issues with this, but I'm just gonna say it.
So good.
But we have to, and I said it before. I mean, we have to really dim ourselves because we offend you if I wear my hair a certain way, or if I just put on my makeup, and if I just come in my true glory, you just don't know how to act, right?
It's too much. It's intimidating. It makes me uncomfortable.
Yes. and this whole jealousy and
the insecurity.
The insecurities is like, why? Just
because when we show up as ourselves, our true selves, it's literally like power walks in the room. Like we literally are power. And that's what it took me so long to figure out. It's been many times like I'll get dressed and I'll look at my husband. I'm like, I don't know. Do you think I should wear this lipstick, or you think I should wear this? Because in my head, I'm thinking it's going to be too much. And he'll be looking at me like, stop. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Because we need to be able to show up as ourselves without feeling like I have to dim myself to make other people in the room feel comfortable. And we've been doing it. But really,
and oftentimes, like you said, I mean, you're under someone, you're an attorney, and you're probably more qualified than the person.
Yes.
But
I have to figure out how not to make you feel dumb, because I'm a lot smarter than you.
Right.
I understand a lot more of what's happening in the room, but I can't say too much, because if I do, it's going to show that I'm smarter than you. And then you're going to feel like you're going to feel embarrassed. And then you're going to feel like you need to try to bring me down a notch, because that's another thing. They do not like when we show up and think too highly of ourselves. And it doesn't come out. It doesn't always come out overtly.
But who are they to try to knock us down a notch? Like, who are you to do that? Like, I want to know what makes you the bully. Like I'm just how do you feel so
water.
How do you feel so emboldened and empowered to tell me?
Societally, it's in the water. We've all kind of, like, Dr. Cornell West talks about how we've all ingested white supremacy and don't even realize it. Because I didn't even realize how much I
Did you have locks? Did you have locks
No.
back then?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, I was very blown out.
Okay. Because I'm sure you walked in with locks. I probably would have really.
Oh, no. The hair. I talk about that. That's why I got so much to say. I talk about the hair.
Because hair is political. I mean, seriously. So
Oh, I talk about
if
the
you
hair.
would have walked in like, you'd be like,
I talk
okay.
about the hair. I talk about the hair. It wasn't color. It was a cut that would make people, I could tell it made people uncomfortable. So I had to think very strategically about how.
It's exhausting though to try to.
I'm not here just to do my job.
I have to deal
I
with
have
you.
to think about all the layers of the things that make you uncomfortable, because the timing of my hair impacted some of my promotions. The way that my hair was impacted negatively my promotional opportunities. I didn't realize it real time, but it was clear.
Wow.
It was clear. And it was by mistake, because I really was very full on in the mode of wanting to make people comfortable. I want you to be comfortable with me. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Like, I want them to be comfortable with me, because if they're not comfortable with me, they're not going to promote me to be at their table. They're not going to do that. And so I worked really hard, and I stumbled at the wrong times. I stumbled at the wrong times of like this dance that we are trying to do. I know.
I can't. Oh, I can't stand that game.
It is, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lot that we're talking about right now. Let me reset. Diane says I have to reset. I always forget to do that. So,
Okay.
we are in conversation with Brittney Wardlaw. She's an attorney. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a lot of one things. Woman of God. She's all that. Woman of faith. So we're just excited that she's here and she's sharing her story. She has a lot to share. She's dealing with what that used to call it, corporate politics.
Bullying,
all that, racism. Let's just call it out. It's racism. It's just, she's dealing with all that in the workplace, and that's stressful. And plus, you got kids.
Got kids.
How did you? So I'm gonna take a break. Okay. But y'all definitely share this, because this book here, I was wondering why it was so thick.
She got so much to say.
I'm like, I get it now.
I know. It's like
I get it. So y'all, this is a great. I'm glad you did this project though.
Yeah, I'm glad I finished.
This is a blessing that's going to help so many people. Because
liberation.
Now we understand the roads that led to liberation.
So the roads were windy. The roads were windy, but
because all of us, right now I work at my church, so I'm not in corporate America. So, but Diane's in the workplace. She understands more so than me now. I've been out of corporate America for about 20 years now. So I've just been kind of working in the nonprofit, church, and the bookstore. So I praise God for that, because I know I would have made it.
Wild out there. Wild West out there. Donna.
I know you did, because you did that for how long? You was working
all together when I graduated from law school until I resigned. It was about 10 years.
10 years. Yeah, that's quite some time. So anyway, so we just kind of were just chatting about her book. She's dealing with a lot, and you've been through a lot, and you got pictures in your book.
I do, just a few at each section, because I needed to
look. Okay, you were trying.
Yeah, look. So this is the president.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the president.
Oh, wow.
And that's her right hand, who was my supervisor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I needed to not validate, but just communicate like, hey, this was not a, I'm working in a coffee shop at BU. I was in the trenches with these people, with the powers that be. Right. And I invested. This is me I'm vested.
Right.
This is not, for me to walk away, to leave.
Interesting.
It was a really big decision. It It was a really big decision, and I'm not taking it lightly. I'm not taking it lightly. My story is my power,
Mm-hmm.
and me telling my story is where my power lies. So I'm going to tell it, and it's not from a place of I'm just bitter and I just didn't. No, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that, because your girl is healed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm whole. I'm whole and at peace. But I know the story has to be told. People need to know.
Because it's continuing.
Yes. Yeah. People need to know. And it's still happening, right? It's still happening. People are
And so one way we can deal with the bully is to tell someone.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to tell someone what's going on. So that is a way to
Which is
deal with the bully. Because I mean, it's hard to fight. So I mean, because some bullies is so systemic.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's hard to fight it.
Right.
You know, because it's. But to tell it and let people know, hey, this is happening. So, you know, you're giving voice to it. So we be like, really? I mean, Rehab Drive. What's this one about?
This
Is that a baby?
It is a baby.
Oh, which one is this?
So that is number 4. That's number
Okay.
4.
Okay.
But I had some miscarriages in the midst of all of this.
Oh, due to stress?
Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure. Weight loss, stress. Yeah. And you know, I reference this in the book. I don't know if you've heard of the book, Your Body Keeps the Score.
Yes.
I have always been a person that has literally held stress in my gut. And I don't know that I'm stressed until my body is telling me I'm stressed. So whether I'm getting sick or I'm miscarrying, like that's how I know how stressed I am. And that's what was happening. And I didn't realize it until it was too late.
Oh,
So,
that's sad.
yeah, it's real.
I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah, it's real.
So, I mean, ooh.
I know. It's a little dicey down there. Look,
Chapter 12. Yeah, I'm just combing through the book. Okay, I'm combing through the book, and I see this titles.
Go get it shut down, Donna.
You go ahead and explain. She got to talk. We got to talk about this one because I don't know why. You know, the spirit led me to this chapter, but
Yeah.
the end I've seen so. What is going on in your mind with this chapter? And it's the N word, y'all. It's
Yeah.
you seen sold.
Sold.
Well, okay, so okay,
Sold.
break that down for us. What are you saying in this chapter?
So I worked in what was called the equity office, right? And, you know, people could come and make reports about something that that's happening to them, and I'm supposed to do an investigation on what they're reporting, right? It's 9 times out of 10 it was a person of color, right, reporting an issue that, you know, someone said something, somebody did something they're experiencing in their department. The problem was, by the time these people are coming to our office to report something, they're already on their way out. They're done. That was the sad part. You're done already. You're probably not going to have a job by the end of the semester, or you're never going to be promoted again, or you're probably going to have a pretty miserable existence wherever you're working. Because if it's gotten bad enough for you to come to this office and try to report it, knowing that we have no power, we can't do anything about it, you about to be gone.
Oh,
Boy, that's the hard truth. That's the hard truth.
You
I'm
know
like,
it.
they got these offices open. They don't do
We don't
nothing.
have any power to do anything.
but they know. So if you kind of
We
like a
want
trap.
to.
It's kind of like a trap. So I want to go into this. This is supposed to be to help me, and here I'm going in because doggone it, I'm fed up, and so I'm going to go in and see if I can get some help. And basically, it's saying, okay, so and so went in here, so we got to watch so and so and make it worse.
Yes, because here's the thing. Myself and my colleague, we genuinely want to help them. We're wanting to figure out a way to help your situation, whatever you're coming to us about. But we have to report this to our supervisor, who doesn't care.
Who doesn't give no support?
No, they don't care about helping you. They want to make sure that whoever you are reporting to is okay. Because our supervisor is cool in cahoots with whoever your supervisor is. They out having lunch and probably on the golf course together.
Right.
And so when we have to report our stuff to our supervisor,
That is vicious.
it's sad. Because we were trying, like we're really trying. We really want to help you, but we have no real power to help.
So I have to give. I want you to give your commentary on this DEI thing and
Yes.
Trump, because
Yes.
that was, you worked in that department.
And the rollback of EEOC was, the rollback.
Yeah. That was all the department. That was the department I was enrolled in one big ball.
So
DEI,
what is your
EEOC.
commentary on what's happening now? Like, cause did you see this coming? Like, I mean, what?
I never thought it would be this outright. I never thought
Did
it
you
would
think
be
they
this
would get
outright.
rid of the whole department? Did you see that at all coming? Or
I feel like when you empower someone like that to flex their power, they're gonna do it. Why? There's no check and balance anymore. There's no check. We saw this in the first term. It wasn't as direct. It wasn't as outright. It wasn't out as in your face.
right,
It
but he was very
definitely
flagrant
money.
in the first one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there was definitely money pulls because this was when I went out as an entrepreneur. And when he went in the office the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to hire me. He's pulling back all the money. Nobody has anything to pay me. But thankfully, there were still a lot of people out there that still very much believed in the work. And it didn't have to be state funded. It also, I don't know if you caught this language that he's put out there. Anything that's disguised as DEI, have you heard that language?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
You heard that?
yes. So people are being told to report if you're having to listen to any talks or do any education that's disguised as DEI. Because that's another thing people tried to do is be very creative about what language we use, right? It doesn't have to be diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like we can say things like we're creating more empowering environments and culturally inviting spaces, and just use different language so they're not upset about the political terms of diversity, equity, inclusion. Well, he's covered that too. Anything that's disguised needs to be reported and shut down.
But Chase came out and said they didn't care.
Right.
But Chase is, I don't know where Chase stands and all it is, but they backed Trump. They were sitting next to Trump at the at his inauguration or up in the group. But they said they didn't even care that they're going to continue their DEI program.
There's some organizations that have said that. They have said, like, it doesn't matter, we're going to keep doing this. But it's, people are thinking about their businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to be able to continue to function and continue to pay their employees and all of these things. So this is kind of where people are making a decision about how much do we care and value creating spaces that are inclusive. Is it at the expense of us making money as a company? I don't know. This is where people have to decide, are we standing on principle, regardless of how it impacts our numbers? Or do we have to look at the bigger picture of being able to make money? That's the sad part.
Oh, Diane, what is it saying?
Oh,
Did we do? Did you?
Oh, because how long have we been talking? We've been talking. Oh yeah, we've been. Well, this is so interesting though.
Yeah, no, the timing is crazy, right?
Oh my God.
I mean, this. I know we're probably. Oh, I know we over our 30.
I think we're trying to take this personal.
Right, because the timing of it, and this is good conversation.
Yeah.
Because
I love
your
having
book,
that conversation.
I mean, your book is so timely though. Like,
It's crazy though. It's been so timely.
I mean, like this,
Like-
you know what's happening. You've dealt with DEI,
Mhm.
you work in it, and so You know, and now they're
It's the
trying
equity
to put,
department you're working in, right?
Yeah, it was called. They call it the equity office. They didn't call it the E&I office. They just called it the equity office.
right.
And a lot of what they called and did was stuff that I came up with. To, again, how can I create a space that makes y'all feel comfortable and we can still try to actually do the work? Okay, equity. Y'all like that word. Let's call it the equity office. So they're good.
Right.
Period.
But now that's disguised as.
And honestly, you know, my heart really goes out to my colleagues that are in higher education right now. Like, I cannot even imagine. I cannot even imagine being in higher ed right now, trying to figure out, do I just jump ship completely?
So I want to know what is your what would you say to someone that's, we could say higher education, just working in general, because like you said, this is not just for this particular institution, it's other institutions. So I mean, what is your word to them, you know, of encouragement? And we want you to get the book because this is her full story. But as we close, though, I mean, what would you say? What's your last words to the? What do you want to say?
I have maybe 3 tiers of encouragement, right? Because you've got the individual that's like, hey, I'm not leaving. I can't leave. This is where I'm staying, and I just got to figure out how to make it work. It may not be easy, but we don't necessarily all have to leave, right? So you don't have to feel shame or guilt in staying, and you don't have to feel like you've got it all figured out, because this is a very, very unique time, right?
Very.
And there are so many people within your organization and institution that you will be somebody and something that they need to hold on to, right?
Right.
Because a lot
of
times,
not for your family. I mean, there's something.
Yes, if it's not for your family, it's somebody in the institution.
Right.
So we get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about that. Like, sometimes it's easy for us to look at each other like, I can't believe you stand working for the man. You know, like, it's easy to point fingers at each other, but we don't understand the complexity of what we each have to navigate, the hard decisions that we're making in our situations, right?
Right.
And so if you're choosing to stay and need to stay, there is somebody that needs you, right?
You got to roll.
And but you got to care for yourself, because it's wearing on you, whether you realize it right now or you realize it later.
And it's interesting you mentioned that, because we're dealing also with, you know, in January we deal with new you. No, what is New Year, new you? Mm-hmm. And we focus on health and wealth and self-care.
Yes.
And so it's interesting that you mentioned that too, because self-care is important.
Super important.
Yeah, because
you
almost had a breakdown.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
self-care and boundaries, right?
Boundaries.
Because we also know that when we're in these roles and positions, there's a lot that they put on us. A lot. And like we talked about earlier, you're trying to figure out how to manage other people in order to be able to maintain your position. A lot of times in these roles, you're managing these other people and how they're feeling and how they're impacted by how you're showing up. And that is a lot to manage at one time. Mm-hmm. So how do we set boundaries and care for ourselves if we're staying, right? Those people that are like, man, I'm not sure what to do. I want us to be mindful and reflective of our why. Why are we staying? Really sit with that. And if you have peace with the decision on why you need to stay, okay, lean into that, make that decision, and move accordingly. But the whole like, I don't know, should I stay? Should I leave? Sit with why you're staying.
Mm-hmm.
Decide if that's what you're going to do.
Right.
And commit to that, because the in-between, it'll make you sick. It's going to make you sick, right? And then for those that are like, nope, it's time to roll, it's not an easy decision. It doesn't mean there's going to be roses and sunshine on the other side. Mm-hmm. but those hard decisions also have a lot of peace. And a lot of times our peace is more valuable than anything else. So,
So you have no regrets
None.
about leaving?
None.
So if you were there, what would you have done differently?
If I was still there,
I mean, just no, not if you were there. Just
If you
hindsight
stayed.
hindsight 2020. What would you have done differently? Or everything just kind of flowed and happened accordingly.
what would I have done differently? You know, there were, in the midst of the negotiating, I started bringing up situations and people and instances that had happened when we were in the negotiations. I was giving them examples of, man, this is what I've seen. This is what's been messed up. This is what's been wrong. And I started name dropping. I think that may be something I might have done a little differently. You know what? No, I take that back. Because even when I did that, when I left, you know, randomly people started getting promoted. Randomly people started getting
People of color?
and
Okay.
that was one of the things, again, that I talk about in the book of, man, it hurts that I was basically the casualty that helped propel people into positions, but people deserved it to begin with. I just exposed it.
Mm-hmm.
And
to
people
cover,
didn't
and to
know.
cover the trail, they're like, okay, well maybe we
Right.
need to be a little bit nicer.
Right.
You know, be more equal. You're right.
Right. And a lot of my and those were people I would have considered friends. And I think what was sad was like a lot of like Black and brown people that I would have considered friends, some of them I never heard from again. Because it was almost like they couldn't be associated with a troublemaker if they wanted to.
Wow,
successful.
interesting.
And not realizing that you're the reason, or not connecting the dots that because
They
of what
didn't know.
you
They
did.
wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known. Right.
Interesting.
Because that friend I told you about earlier, he doesn't care if I say his name, Dominic. He said that he defended me to a lot of people because people would say things like, "What's her MO? What's she trying to do? Like, why is she causing so much? You know, like why you upsetting Massa? Like, we got a good thing going here." And he would have to like defend me, like, "Are you for real?
It could be better.
Right.
Like you don't have to eat it.
So no regrets.
Wow.
Not chilling. So shoot.
Wow. Okay.
But yes, this is the themes. Some of the themes that came out of my book is that
Faith over fear.
walking in faith over fear. Faith triumphs over fear. Like, yes, if I leave this job, and that was hard questions that me and Gary had to ask each other. Like, are we both okay with me walking away? Are we okay with this?
That's a big deal.
Are we okay with this? All right, we're going to take this leap of faith together. We're not going to be afraid. We're going to take this leap of faith. And we did. And, you know, it's been windy, but overall, God has done exceedingly abundantly above anything we could have asked or imagined.
Oh, well, amen.
Exceedingly
Well, of course,
abundantly.
and this is one of the
Yeah.
Dang, it's positive again.
It's put with a power.
Yeah.
About the
Okay, y'all. I know we passed our time, but it's been a great
It
conversation.
has.
It's been very, very revealing. Like,
She do real quick the themes real quick because she was only on one.
Oh,
Can she
yeah,
do the
just-
other?
So that's one. The other one is young and liberated. So no matter what our age, it's not too late to walk in liberation. We are free, okay? This is a symbol of chains being broken. We're free.
and Brittney said she's free because she left the
Free. Free, y'all. Free. And we got lots of colors. Faith over fear. Young and liberated. Get you one. We got some nice pullovers over here, y'all.
So you left
Lots of
Baptist
different
house and
sizes.
you liberate.
Yes. Free at last. But
But you know, those are cute.
yes, so this is faith over fear as well. And it's just me walking in faith over fear.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is powerful. Her
So
stuff
it's like
is powerful.
athletic apparel.
Okay.
Yes. Because
I
I do
love
love
it.
a good workout now. Do love me a good workout.
Well,
So this is just the beginning, y'all.
You don't look like you had 5 kids though.
Ooh, 5 of them. 5 of them came out.
I mean,
yeah.
where does it go? I mean, you
They
have
take
no.
That's a whole nother.
Take
show.
it off.
I mean,
She got some
Five.
things.
how you look too cute to have 5?
Girl.
I
That's
thought she
it.
was in her 20s.
I gotta go work out. Cause it don't make no
Oh.
sense. She got 5 kids looking like that. I don't have any. Look at me.
Stop it. Stop
So
it.
I gotta work on me. But no, it's been a great conversation.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
I had fun
Thank you so
talking
much.
to you.
Tell her
Thank
we're
you
gonna
so
have a
much.
sit down conversation. Another one. She's just gonna have to.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna try to get her in the auditorium at the African American Museum because
we
Yes,
need
I'll be there.
we need to hear this story because again, her story is a personal story, but like we discussed, this is an overall story. Like this is our
Yes.
story. This whole bullying
Yes.
and having to suck it up and
Yes.
having to
Shrink.
be intimidated and and picked on and
Yeah.
and like you said, had to shrink and dim our light.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. People have to do that every day. That is
Every
so exhausting.
Every
And have to talk
day.
double languages.
Yes.
You know?
We are bilingual.
we have to, it just, I just can't take that.
Yes, we really do. We
But
really do.
and now what we're dealing with, and this is why her book is so timely because, now that the Trump administration is trying to do away with DEI and anything to help deal with the
Mhm.
psychology of
It's
what
like the little bit we have.
of what
A little-
marginalized people are going through is just crazy to me.
Mhm.
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 As if they don't know we got to do the song and dance.
Right.
Right. But yet we can't report it. It's just a mess.
Can't report it.
This
Now there's nowhere to go.
I mean, y'all, what we gonna do? So we got a lot of we got a lot of conversation to have.
Mhm.
Okay, well, Diane, get ready to
let me see if I can.
do
What?
the button. We're closing out now. Brittney, tell people how they could get in touch
Oh,
with
yes.
you.
Yes, yes,
How
yes,
can
yes.
they reach you? They
Yes,
have
yes, yes.
questions and
Yes, reach
You
out
know.
to me. So I normally do like I call it tea and testimonies. On Thursday evening, I'll do like a brief reading live on my Instagram and Facebook. My handle is Brittney Wardlaw JD.
okay.
So that's my
Okay.
handle for TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. My website, BrittneyWardlawJD.com. And you can order a signed copy from the website, or you can get the book wherever books are sold. So you can order on
I
Amazon.
like her.
Oh, she's a winner. She's a.
You can order on Amazon.
Yeah.
You can
When they
Order
walk in
anywhere.
this store, they're gonna see her face.
The
right
Dot
there.
Bookshop. Because we're definitely gonna have some signed copies in store. So
Right.
definitely stop by and get you a copy. And
Take
also,
over. Oh.
I'm really excited because Brittany's gonna be at the African American. What you about to say?
I was about to say, my book just came out on audio.
Really?
Oh,
Yes.
wait, girl, this girl
Is
is.
your voice?
Yes.
She is. She
Yeah.
is just so
Yeah.
dynamic.
That is
Came
exciting.
out. So I haven't even put that on my socials yet because we had a lot happening as a family this past week. But I am going to put that out this week.
That's
That is on
awesome.
Audible, anywhere that you can get an audio book. It's me reading.
Oh, how fun is that? That's awesome.
So you can listen to all 37 chapters.
Right. And so y'all come to the store, meet her. She'll be here till 5. And also she's going to be at the African American read-in. That's going to be on Saturday, February 15th, right after Valentine's Day.
Yes.
From
Yes.
11 to 3. We're going to be at the African American Museum. We'll have the scheduled time. Go to our website. You can find out what time she's speaking and everything. We'll have all that posted. It's not there yet, but it will be.
Okay.
So, so definitely stop by. Diane, we're ready to end the live. Thank you all for joining
Thank
us.
you so
Have a
much for
great
having
day.
me.
Yes, it was fun. And so I'm telling you, there's a reason. She got a story, and I am looking forward. I'm going to have to delve into this book and see what's going on here. So thank you all. Stop by the Doc Bookshop.
I'm trying not to. I need to get my back. I need to.
Well, Diane's trying to end it, y'all.